Hello, friends. Welcome once again to Eca Science Confab. In today's chemistry class, we are going to learn about how to name a trinary compound. We have done naming of binary compounds. Now we are going to do naming of trinary compounds, meaning every compound here should contain three different elements. And so we have rules guiding the naming of trinary compounds. Number one, count the number of oxygen atoms present and represent the number by Latin prefix. E.g., if the atom is 1, you will now be mentioning mono. If it is 2, you will be saying di. If it is 3, you say tri. Like all these compounds now. This is tetra because it's 7. This is, hepta because it's 7. Tetra because it's 4. Tri because oxygen is 3. There, oxygen is 3 is tri. So you keep mentioning that 1 is mono, 2 is di, 3 is tri, 4 is tetra, 5 is penta, 6 is hexa, 7 is hepta, 8 is octa, 9 is nona, 10 is deca, and so on and so forth. Now that's rule number 1. You don't have to forget that, because when we get there, if you don't know it, you will not be able to do well. Now let's go to rule number 2. Change the name of oxygen to oxo. So by the time you want to name all these compounds, the oxygen will now be called oxo, not oxygen again. So I said change the name to what? Oxo, and attach it to the Latin prefix. Okay. Rule number 3, change the name of the middle element to have the ending ATE. The middle element, this is the middle element here. This is sulfur is middle element. Sulfur here is the middle element. Carbon here is the middle element. Nitrogen is the middle element. So we said we should change the name of the middle element to have the ending ATE and attach it to. So sulfur here will be sulfate. Nitrogen here will be nitrate, chromate, sulfate, carbonate. So that's what they are telling you. Okay, move on to rule number 4. Determine the oxidation number of the middle element. In trinary compounds, all the middle elements you are seeing here, they have more than one oxidation state. So you have to calculate it and know the one that it is being used. You know that I taught you on this calculation of oxidation number in one of my previous classes. So go there and watch how to do the calculation so that you'll be able to make use of it here. Okay, that was rule number 4. Rule number 5, express the value of the valency as a Roman figure in brackets and place it after the name ending in ATE. So you will put the value after you finish calculating that oxidation number here. The value will be inside bracket. You put it inside bracket in the form of numeral, Roman numeral, not in the normal 1, 2, 3. Okay, now the end the name by putting the word acid if the first element is a hydrogen. So like here you see first element here is hydrogen, first element here is hydrogen, so they are acid. So you end the name with what? Acid. We will get there. Rule number 7, if the first element is a metal, Name the metal first before the last element, and finally the middle element. So if the first element, like in this case, the first element is a metal, this one is a metal, this one is a metal. So in naming those set of elements, mention their name first before you jump to the last one and come back to the middle element. Now we are going to see how we can do that, bring that into the naming of these elements. By the time we finish this, don't mind how the rules are many. By the time we do 2, 3, you will be okay with the system. So now, solution number 1. Let's see the first element, the first compound, CuSO4. That's the compound they say we should name. For me, I prefer writing calculating the oxidation number first before I start the naming. Oxidation number. Anytime you want to name a compound that contains 3 different elements, first calculate the oxidation number of the first or of the middle element from there before you go to name it. So now I know here that SO4 2 minus, if you can remember the radical that I showed you, that's fixed. SO4 2 minus, that 2 minus is what? The valency of SO4. Now note that copper has different oxidation states. Now, for the compound not to have a charge, plus or minus, that means the number of plus from copper is equal to the valency of copper is equal to, in opposite direction, is equal to that of SO4. Since I say that SO4, remember SO4 is or has 2, then Cu should be 2 plus, so that they can cancel out themselves. So from this now, you should know that copper here has valency of plus 2, plus sulfur that I don't know. I want to work the oxidation state of sulfur there. Oxygen is minus 2 at all times. I've told you that before. So multiply by 4. So when that is done, equate it to 0 and then work it out for sulfur. Plus 2 now becomes plus S minus 8 equal to 0. Take the digit to the other side while letter remains there. S equal to plus 8 minus 2. So S is equal to what? This is what? Plus 6. So the valency of, or the oxidation number of sulfur here is plus 6. Now the name, they said if it is a metal, start with it first. So the name will be copper. Mention the full name of the first element there because it's a metal. Copper. Then after that, jump to the last element, which is oxygen. How many atoms of oxygen are there? 4. And 4 I said is what? Tetra. So copper here, you have to mention the valency. Copper 2. Then tetra. Also, you now come to sulfate. Remember, sulfur changes to sulfate. Sulfate, what? 6. That's the name. Okay, now having known that, let's do the second one where you are N, you have N, N, NaNO3. So let's solve for N, the oxidation number of N. Now that of Na is plus 1 at all time, plus, I don't know, N, nitrogen, plus minus 2 times 3 equates it to 0. Now, plus 1 plus N minus 2, sorry, minus 6 equal to 0. N equal to plus 6 minus 1. Your N is equal to what? Is plus 5. So the name of this man is, the first element is what? A metal. So what's the name? Sodium. Sodium has fixed oxidation number. Among the first 20 elements, all the metals there, they have fixed oxidation number. The one that has 1 at all time is 1. The one that has 2 at all time is 2. The one that has 3 at all time is 3. So sodium is always plus 1. So you don't need to mention the oxidation state of sodium there. So sodium, you jump the middle element to the last, and then the last element is oxygen. And how many atoms? 3. So I said tri stands for 3. 3 what? Oxygen turns oxo, tri-oxo. Then you come to the middle element. Nitrogen turns nitrate. And the valency of nitrogen is what? 5. The oxidation state of nitrogen is 5. So that's the name of that element or that compound. Now let's do the third one. The third one is K2Cr2O7. Let's work. Potassium is among the first 20 elements and it has fixed oxidation state, which is 1. So 1, but it is 2 here. So you now have 1 times 2 plus 2Cr, there are 2, plus minus 2 times 7, equate it to 0. This is 2 plus 2Cr minus 14, equate it to 0. Now, make Cr to Cr subject formula. You have 2Cr equal to, take this to the other side, you have 14 minus 2. Now, remember this is the minus 2. Now subtract, you have 2Cr equal to 12. I'm looking for Cr, not 2Cr. So if I divide both sides by 2, I will have 2 cancelling out. 2 here will cancel out this. How many? 6. So my Cr is equal to 6. So now getting that, that's plus 6. Getting that, you now can give the name to be potassium. You jump the middle to the last. Potassium, permit me to write it here. Potassium Potassium 7 means what there? Hecta, sorry. Potassium hecta oxo. Potassium hecta oxo die, because chromium here are 2. Dichromate what? 6. So that's the name of this man. K2Cr2O7. Okay, now let's move to the next one. I will clean part of it. Okay, number four. Number four is H2SO4. What are the oxidation state of sulfur? Hydrogen is 1 plus 1 times how many? 2 plus sulfur that I don't know plus minus 2 times 4 equate to 0. 2 plus S minus 8 to give you 0. S equal to plus 8 minus 2. S equal to plus 6. So the name of H2SO4 is, remember this one is starting with H and not a metal. Hydrogen is not a metal. Whenever you have hydrogen as the first element standing, here I told you you should do what? Forget about that. Continue with start your naming from the last element. Then end the name with acid. So that means that I will say that I will start with tetraoxo. Tetraoxo sulfate. Sulfate what? 6. And end the name with what? Acid. Tetraoxo sulfate 6 acid. Okay, that is for number 4. Let's do number 5 now. Number 5 is H2CO3. So similar to this one, H2, you have 2 there, plus C, I don't know, plus minus 2 times 3, equate to 0. Now work it out for carbon. Your carbon 2 plus C minus 6 equal to 0. Now take this and this to the other side. You have carbon equal to plus 6 minus 2. C equal to plus 4. So the oxidation state of carbon in this compound is plus 4. So the name of this compound is, I believe you still remember that I told you once the first element is hydrogen, leave it first. Start from the last and then end with acid. So you now have it to be 3 here means tri. Oxygen becomes oxo. Then the next element is carbon. Now turns what? Carbonate. Carbonate. What do you have as the valency of the carbon? 4. Carbonate 4. And being that the compound starts with element H, so that I will add what? Acid. So that is the name of this compound, trioxocarbonate 4 acid. I believe today's lesson has been a blessing to you. You've enjoyed it. I want you to subscribe and then keep watching. Share the channel and comment. Let's see some other time. Thank you.